showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Silent and profiling. Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. By my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mike. What is going on, buddy? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to
Yes. But if you look at Twitter or anything, you wouldn't think we had won.
No, you think we lost.
It's a epic meltdown out there in Twitter, and if you listen to any of the talking heads, like people are like,
I know.
You know, like the world's coming to an end.
Oh, it's bad. Let me get to a quick chat. So, Antonio, I appreciate you're always here early. Thank you. The angry Buffalo sports fan. Woo! And Chewy, cheers. Listen, Chewy, tonight is ginger ale because I am still under the weather, brother. I got the stomach flu, and luckily you cannot get it from me over the computer. So you're good to go. Good to go. But yeah, you're right. And I did a quick video today. I know you haven't had time to watch it. Little Ken Dorsey video, but really it's just, I know it's based on Ken Dorsey, my video today, but it's really honestly, Mikey, just based in general, just on the negativity that Bills Mafia has had really, truthfully, all season long. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Maybe not all season long. Let's see. From week 3 on. Week 1 through 2, we were the best thing since sliced bread. Right? It's unbelievable. We're the top notch, right? All off season, right? The best thing going today. And then you had an off game week 3 against the Dolphins in a tough environment.
Really didn't have an off game. We just
but I'm just saying
we didn't finish in the red zone.
It wasn't week 1, week 2, right?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
All right.
And then from there, it kind of started, right? Here comes the chirping birds a little bit, right? Here's a little bit of negative stuff, right? And it just kind of seemed like week after week, even if we won, someone's not happy in Mafia land, right? And it's this, and it seemed like it's been building up with Bills Mafia. And I've come on here since, and I didn't really say anything for a while. You know that, Mike. It is what it is. You know, people are going to have their feelings. They're going to have their thoughts. And I get, you know, people who criticize. It's okay to like, hey, I don't like this. I didn't like that, or I like this. We do it all the time. We go back and forth. What we don't like, what we like. That's okay. But to constantly week after week, like just dog your own team, it's just like it gets a little annoying for me, like just to hear, because it's like, damn, do you like this team, or is it just you're just here to watch and just like ridicule every step? So week 6, not week 6, but when you were about 6-3, 7-3, I remember me saying, hey, you guys got to chill. Even you eventually, and that's not your style, Mikey, because I know normally you were kind of, at first you were like a little back, but eventually you were like, yo, we're 7-3, guys, calm down, relax. Like with everything that's going on, not mind you too, this is with everything that's happened up to that point, right?
Yep.
Like a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm not even counting all that. And I'm like, guys, like enough is enough here. Like, what do you expect here? Like, we're doing better than what we should be considering everything. And yesterday was like cherry on the top.
It was a meltdown.
Was like, yeah, and it's like I can't take it, man. Like the pointing of the finger, that you know, and it's like, and I did the Dorsey thing, and it's not just Dorsey, it's Allen too. Like everybody wants to zoom in right? And like with this magnifying glass, just zoom in on one person and point the finger. It's Dorsey. It's Allen. It's Allen's fault. And nobody wants to really zoom out and just watch the game and understand or rewatch it before you start to jump to conclusions and point out one guy or one particular play and go, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Like today, perfect example, guys. Before we went live, we were talking, me and Mikey. And Mikey said, did you see the Tyler Bass kickoff? The ball fell down while he kicked, and that's why I went on. Now, mind you, when we lie post game,
we were mad.
I'm mad, right? It's third time, Tyler Bass, blah blah. Now, mind you, Mikey went back, watched it, saw or whatever, he heard that.
I heard it, so I went back and watched it, and it truly did.
Okay, so there you go. So see, that's what I'm saying. Talking about but I'm man enough to go, hey, you know what? I made the mistake, but I'm not going to go, oh, Tyler Bass still sucks. But that's my point. Like, it doesn't matter. We could come back with, well, John Brown stopped on the route, and that's why the interception. Yeah, but Josh Allen shouldn't be like
he underthrew him.
Right. Nicole Beasley. So it's like, guys, it's a really tough.
It's a collection. It's not one person. It's a collection of things that are going on. And I'll tell you. Okay, let's just quickly talk about the John Brown thing.
Yeah.
Allen dropped back. There is nobody open on that. So he takes the deep shot. Brown stopped. That's fine. He stopped and then he went outside. Josh threw it inside. Bad throw by Josh. Probably a bad decision by Josh in theory.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Didn't like the play call in general, as no one was schemed up to be open, quick. Yep. What we need Josh to do in those type of things, roll out, throw it away, live to fight another day. But 100%. Josh is one of those guys who he trusts his receivers. I'm going to give you a chance.
Right.
To make a play, because that's just who he is. We love him when he makes it. We hate him when he doesn't. It's one of those things of, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right?
Right.
So then we go to the Cole Beasley one. The throw hit Beasley in the chest. The issue is the defender got there before Beasley could catch it.
Right.
It probably should have been pass interference, but as a bang, so they let it go. It popped up in the air and it's picked off. That happens.
Right.
Josh's sack fumble. We went back and me and you talked about this right before the show. We dropped back the pass. Josh is looking one way, turns around, the guy's there. Josh shakes off 90% of those defenders when that happens.
Right.
This time they happened to catch the ball and it knocked it out.
Right. And there, by the way, absolutely zero. Because if you guys watched the game back, which I did today, absolutely zero offensive linemen by the ball, by the play. The Dolphins literally picked it up, and there was I saw nobody.
Yeah, because
Devin Singletary was the only guy coming back.
They blitzed 6 guys, so it was 6 on 5 because there was nobody else in there.
And
Josh obviously didn't see it.
Right.
It was great disguise. Miami's a good defense.
They are
great disguise. That guy got there before they could make the play. It happens. His other fumble where he got blindsided.
Yeah.
Dawkins got beat. It happens. Sack fumble. We got on it. That's fine.
Yeah.
You go back and you look at it. There's certain things that in Dorsey's offense that I'm not a huge fan of.
Right.
But overall, we're second in yards per game. We're second in the league in points per game. We're 5th in passing yards. We're 7th in rushing yards per game.
Yeah. Right.
He's not
in scoring.
Where this year's the biggest change is in our turnover margin.
Correct.
We are like 3rd, we're like what, so it would be 29th in the league in turnovers on offense.
Yeah.
Like we turn the ball over a ton.
Yeah. And we get the ball a lot. We're lucky because we actually good with takeaways.
Yeah.
So but that means it evens out.
Yeah, but from an offensive standpoint, everyone's freaking out thinking that Dorsey's thing is because we turn the ball over a ton.
Right.
Now, Dorsey's mentality versus Daboll's mentality. We talked about this a bunch. Mm-hmm. Dorsey is a former quarterback who's a little bit of a psychopath, and he's, they've talked about it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he just needs to reel Josh back in a little bit, but I don't think that's his personality. Dorsey's a killer. He wants to go for it.
Yeah, and he said that, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he had an interview mid-season when they were talking about that. It was somewhere around mid-season. He was like, "Look,
so
yeah,
when we chopped it up and kept going deep,
yeah,
you know, him and Josh are on the same page that way. Josh is a killer. He wants to put those daggers
he says
in.
he said he doesn't want to box him in. He doesn't want him to feel like he has to check down.
Oh,
Like
this is
a
a good one. Chewy comes in and says Saffold looked lost out there.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw that comment. Yeah.
Saffold very much is a run blocking all pro bowler. Saffold's never been a fantastic pass blocker. He's been adequate. So I thought when we signed him, we were going to be more of a balanced team, run more. Knowing that we signed him to expect him to be a pass blocker, it was a step back from Darrell Williams from a pass blocking standpoint.
100%.
You know, because that was never Saffold's game. He's a big, strong run blocker.
Right.
He played in in LA with Todd Gurley, and then he went and played with King Henry. They were run first teams.
Right.
So I didn't understand. So when we signed him, I thought the whole thing was going to twitch a little bit and become more balanced. Seeing that we're not makes me wonder about the fit. Why did we sign him?
I'll tell you why. And I said it today, and I agree with you. I'm actually, because Mikey will go back and watch my video, but I actually I actually brung the Saffold thing up, and because I was talking about the O-line, and I said, bringing him in it improved the run game. You could see our run game. We actually are averaging 10 yards more a carry this season. That's a big difference. However, the pass blocking has gone down, in my opinion. It's gotten worse. Why? Because Saffold, to Mikey's opinion, and it's not an opinion, it's a fact. He's more of a run blocker. That's what he is.
That's what the numbers say.
Yeah, and we are not a run-heavy team. We are more of a pass, and that's the way we are. But why would you sign him? Why? Because Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, since day one, have continued to put Band-Aids on this offense. They have not fixed it.
They've tried.
Guys. They tried, I guess. That's not. I don't know how much
we have drafted. We drafted.
Yeah, but I don't know how much
in the second. We drafted Spencer Brown in the third. We spent Doyle in the fourth.
I still don't.
Are you talking about round one picks?
I'm talking about a guy that you're going to go and get, or a free agent that you're going to spend some money on.
There hasn't been any free agents though.
Right, but we don't know. It's been a long time since they came in 2017, 2018, 2019. Now, I will say they got Dawkins, right? So really, technically, we could say Dawkins was their first.
Dawkins was drafted.
Their main
Brown
guy
was drafted. Brown was
more. But wait, Brown was more of a project.
But he was a third-round project.
I know, but he's still a project. He wasn't a guy that was like, this guy's coming in. He's going to make an impact. He wasn't. He wasn't even supposed to start.
Mitch Morris was. Yeah. Mitch Morris signed as a free agent
in 2018. Right, 2019. I'm sorry, 2019. Yep. He was a stud center. But besides that, I'm saying the Ford was a reach, and everybody knew that. And that also was a project that went nowhere. I'm just saying they haven't. And once after that, I think after that 2019 season, or even 2020, let's say, when you're going, hey, Cody Ford will hold on to him still, but we're not really sure where he's going.
He wasn't a tackle. We got to move him to guard, and then
figure out what you're fishing him. Yeah, you're moving like music. Then you're messing with Feliciano. Yeah. You don't know who you. Then you got Quentin Spain. You're cutting up. Like, there's been so many bad, like, musical chairs with these offensive linemen and just things that haven't gone right. I kind of feel like it's just been a Band-Aid put on, like a bleed that's getting worse and worse, like, and a cut that's opening bigger and bigger. And this year, I kind of feel, and I know you agree with me, Josh Allen has been so much under pressure than he's been since 2018. 2018 was bad. 2018 was probably one of the worst I've seen. And that also is probably on Allen too, because he's a rookie. He's holding the ball too much. He doesn't, he wasn't all there. He had no receivers. But this season, I don't see Allen getting out of harm's way like he used to. Like we are going.
Well, yeah, they're rushing him different.
It's a collapse, right? So, like, normally, like, in a prime example is yesterday's game, guys. The line, normally he steps up in that pocket, and we see the hole. I know because I'm watching. I'm like, go, go, go. You got to go. And they're collapsing like that.
Well,
Boom,
I think it's a design. So what they're doing from now, and not all the teams do it because the
not all the
Patriots, he
teams.
still gets out of it, and a couple other teams. But Miami, because you have to have the players to do this. But what they do is
Right.
they collapse on the outside so he can't escape right or left and make him go up. But they don't push back and get entangled and get out of their rush lanes. And the
Correct.
second he sees that hole and he goes to go, they're able to get off the block and get to him and close it down.
Right.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't. Sometimes they can't get off the block. But most of the
depends
time
on the
they can.
line. Yeah, depends.
Yeah.
Exactly. But my point is, even when he gets to the outside, because remember, he used to be able to get to the outside pretty good and get out of harm's way and kind of get out of that.
Miami plays them different.
Miami's quick, but even other teams. I mean, I saw Chicago dump him a couple times. Detroit was getting to him. I've noticed a lot more batted passes this season from Josh Allen.
I seen that. It's not just Josh Allen. That's across the league.
No, I'm just saying though, the line is getting pushed back where a 6'5", 6'6" quarterback shouldn't be getting as many. I think he leads the league, or he was top at one point of getting passes batted down. That shouldn't be. Like, that should not happen. But either way, I think that's like, listen, we have to address that in the offseason. The offensive line has to be addressed because I don't care what coordinator you have in here, Mikey. It's a problem if the O-line can't hold up. Like, listen, there's 11 guys on the field. All 11 have to do their job. And I was saying that today, right? A call comes in. Let's say a play call comes in. Dorsey calls a play to Allen. Allen calls it to, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. The play could be a perfect play, but Deion Dawkins holds. Or Saffold messes up and can't block and is a sack on out. It only takes one guy to mess up a whole play where the execution is gone. Or Allen overthrows it, underthrows it. So it's not always the play call. It could just be the execution's not. One guy made that mistake.
I get that.
We don't know. We're not there.
Yeah. And we had the same conversation last offseason about wanting the offensive line fixed, and we did nothing. We signed Saffold. And we re-signed Bates, which I love Bates. And I think he's our future center.
Questenberry. I mean, he's okay.
Questenberry's a good depth guy. Good depth guy.
Yeah.
Chewy's asking about Bacher. Bacher is back.
But they didn't make him active in that game.
They don't make him active. I don't know why.
I don't get it either.
It's one of those things. But when we look at it, Tommy, I don't have a problem with Dorsey in general. I want to see more creative schemes, and I have the same complaint about Daboll as well. Like, everything is option routes. Like we talked about this earlier in the year. Sean McVay's offense, Shanahan's offense, McDaniel's offense, Sean Payton's offense, they scheme things to where the receivers get open.
But how long have they been doing this?
Yeah, how long was Daboll doing it?
Dable's right. Well, Dable's Dable.
We can talk about Dable all day. And that's fine. But but what I'm saying is, as you see these offensive minds, Andy Reid's and those guys, they scheme these guys open to where it seems very easy. Everything the Bills do right now is options. So you're expecting the quarterback and the receiver to read it the same way.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it's more difficult. So it makes me wonder why we continue to run an offense that is just all options all the time. And we don't come back to try to scheme things a little bit more.
Well, I guess I can't answer that because I'm obviously not I'm not in the film room. And
those are the things that bother me from a
I get it
perspective.
But I'll go back to when we hired Dorsey initially. Josh wanted him here, right? Josh,
I wanted him.
I'm just saying, but the main guy is the guy who matters the most, right? Not the fans. It's the quarterback, right? Like, if he wants him, right? We should trust it, right? Like, get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like it's Joe down the street wants Ken Dorsey, right? Like, it's our quarterback, right? Like, he had faith in him. And I remember a conversation. I don't know who. I think it was Josh that said, like, he understands, like, he knows what I like and what I don't. Oh, I think it was Ken Dorsey too. And he was like, hey, look, like, Josh is going to tell me, let's not do this. Let's take this out the playbook. I don't want. So to me, honest with you, I almost feel like this playbook, what they're running out there, is more of a Ken Dorsey, Josh Allen scheme. They both. This is what they want. You know, we remember me and you earlier in the season. We're like, why is Josh always in shotgun on the goal line? On the Reds, right? That has to be because Josh is more.
Well, I'm not only that.
I don't know. I don't know if that's just a Dorsey thing.
Okay, let's go back to the whole shotgun thing. He went under center coming out of half. He takes it back. He's looking right and gets sacked. If he's in shotgun, he can view the entire field. I'm starting to understand why he's in shotgun more. As he feels because he can see everything what's going on.
Right. Damn, maybe you should be in shotgun more. Right.
More often.
Hey, if our offensive line is that bad and you feel comfortable
I don't know
with
if it's that bad, if it's just the scheme that we're running that's not allowing guys. Because listen, every guy on there is professional. I've seen a whole lot worse offensive lines give quarterbacks more time than Josh has been getting.
I say it's weird. Like at times, our offensive line
looks really good.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, they gave Josh Josh is sitting back there for a minute.
Times they don't,
and at times they just whiff. Like Spencer Brown gets totally beat, or Dawkins even
gets
something gets beat or holds, or like, and it's like, but at other times they look, even on some run blocking lately, I'm like, damn, okay, that hole was there.
The run blocking towards the second half of the season has gotten a lot better.
I have to say it has. That's one improvement I will say. But the pass blocking this season has been bad, in my opinion. I haven't really.
Well, it was bad last year, except Josh got out of it more. Josh is being hit more this year because the defenses are playing him different.
Yeah,
and they're spying him more. We also had a much tougher schedule this year than we did last year.
Yeah,
and that has a lot to do with it as well. So let's get into the chat. Josh really struggled with a bit with the zero. I don't know if Josh struggled as much as there was nowhere to go sometimes with it, with the zero, because you have to get the ball out quick. And if guys aren't beating, have the hot routes and aren't beating guys off the line, what's he supposed to do with it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I would like more, though. And I told you, like, I obviously, I think Ken Dorsey's, I think he's the right guy for the job. But if there is a criticism, that I could throw his way, is I definitely would like him to, in a couple things. I really would like more up tempo at times, because one, you're getting the call in quick. That's one thing I do like. If you guys notice one thing about the Bills this season under Ken Dorsey, very rarely are we getting a play clock down to zero. Like when we're at that line, like we have plenty of time to go to the line. Allen has plenty of time to read the defense, call an audible, do whatever he needs to do. There's usually a lot of time, right? We're not getting caught up in 3, 2, 1, and we're having to call timeout, right? Yeah. That's one. Two, so the up tempo I think would work there. And I also, since we're getting to the line anyways that quick, and two, man, listen, you got Cole Beasley back now. And we're going to touch on Cole Beasley a little bit later, guys. But I would like more of those quicker out routes. Get the ball out quicker. Let's get those 5-6 yard passes.
I'm not out. I'm sick of the fucking out routes. Excuse me.
Not even I don't even care about. I'm just talking about get the ball out of your hands. The slants,
yes.
Whatever. Screen pass. Screen to the receiver. Whatever you need to do. I'm just saying.
That third and one, third and fourth and two, freaking out routes. I am so done with that.
Yeah,
they've done it 3 straight games.
But I'll say that was also a bad throw.
It's one of the hardest throws that we have.
It is
going cross hash to an out.
But I don't know why you do it on a 3rd one. I mean, that's like that right there. Like that is on. Like, to be honest with you, on a 3rd and 1. Man, I'd rather you take the game or 4th, whatever. Run it up the gut. I listen. We fail. You should be able to pick up a yard. You know what I mean? Devin Singletary, by the way, to me, has been proven that he can pick up a yard.
Throw to the back out of the backfield. Right. He'll get you a yard.
Right. But either way, my point is get the ball a little bit quicker out of Allen's hand. You don't always need to go for the home run punch the whole game.
Sorry. So sorry, Chewy. Yes, I dropped the F-bomb. Listen, that's one of my biggest pet peeves right now is that stupid out route on 3rd and 4th and short. I'm like, stop running.
I don't mind an
telling
out
me you
route,
can't-
but you don't have to do it on 3rd and short.
No, it's like listen. We ran that little. It wasn't even an out route. It was just like this little bubble screen to Beasley down the red zone. They score a touchdown on. Run that. It's not trying to throw all the way across field.
Now that was
3 yards out.
That was a perfect play. By the way, even McKenzie's ran that a few times in the script.
Yeah. Yes.
So my point is though, you got to start getting the ball a little bit quicker out of Allen's hand.
Yeah. Stop going so deep. Bring back that short game.
On blitzes. Like, why on a blitz does every time Allen, like, you throw it 40 yards down the field? Like, I get it if it's there. But why not set up a play where you have a screen or go to your running back real quick?
We don't run screens.
We never do, but if they figured it out, the defense would be in a lot of trouble. They would,
for whatever reason, Buffalo hasn't been able to run a screen in years.
We haven't. But you got to try. Either way, you don't have to throw 40 yards down the field. You have to design something different.
I don't get it either.
You know what I mean?
And I don't know if it's a Josh thing or if it's a call thing.
I don't know. I don't know. But that can't be the answer to a blitz every time, where you're just chucking it downfield. Like, that's usually not going to work. It works occasionally, but you saw yesterday on a few times, they're dangerous passes, man. Like, even the one to Khalil, it was a great catch.
A great throw, but it had to be perfect.
Yeah, well, a
if
tad
it goes off
higher.
His hands, it's picked.
Yeah. I mean, or if it's a tad higher, it's an interception. It's a bad. And what are we saying? What are the announcers saying? Bad throw. Off his back foot, right? Like, he should have just threw whatever, right?
Yeah, because he can't step. It's off his back foot because he can't step in because the pressure's there.
Right.
That's been the problem most of this year. Josh has not been able to step up. He's constantly going backwards and making throws because there is no pocket for him to step up into.
Or he's getting
and then depending on what announcer you're listening to, they're like, "Oh, he leaves the pocket too early."
Yeah. Or if he steps
up.
Have
you watched the rest of the games? Because there hasn't been much of a pocket. So if he finds an out to clear space for him, he takes it. Whether you think it's early or not, because it's going to collapse at some point, and he knows it.
Yep.
But anyways, so far it's been all negative. Let's find the positive.
No, that's all right. So I want to go. I still want to talk about yesterday's game. So, and we're going to get to positive. It's not been negative. It's really me just understanding just why.
We'll never understand why with us not being in the
but anyway, so so back to the game. So there's a turning point. So when I watched today, I rewatched, and
yes, Ben.
Go ahead. What?
Spen put in there the O-line they do draft for all project tackles. They don't draft interior alignment.
Exactly.
You know, the one interior lineman that we got that we have groomed is Bates, and he was an undrafted free agent, and he was a tackle originally that we drafted and groomed, and now he's one of our starters.
Right. So watching the game back today, Mikey.
Yep.
Turning point in the game, and that's why I always say, guys, not always about like play calling. Sometimes it's just about not making a play, execution.
Yep.
So the Khalil Shakir play, when he dropped it, it's a perfect pass. What happens next? Do you remember, Mikey?
The Shakir play?
Late in the second quarter. We punted right after.
Yeah, they punted it and they returned it back 50 yards. Right. We had a 47-yard punt for a 50-yard return.
And if he would have caught it, where we would have been? About the 20, 25?
Yeah, getting ready to go in. So really, no, I think the turning point was actually the Dawson Knox play.
God.
Because I know. It was 14-0.
I'm just saying. Yeah. No, I didn't say turning point. I'm just saying, like,
okay.
In a particular,
but that point where you're at, because the Dawson Knox one he dropped, we would have went up 21-0. The next play, Josh gets sacked. We kick the field goal, goes up 17.
Right.
Bass has the ball fall over. We kick it out of bounds. They get at the 40. They go down and they kick a field goal.
Field goal.
Yep. And then we had a chance, and Josh, the next drive, I think Josh dropped back and threw the pick to Howard, and then they returned it back 50 yards.
Correct. Yeah, and it was weird. Brown was like, for as fast as he is, I don't know if he was just jogging back to catch
Yeah.
up to him.
You know what it felt like? And I heard someone say this.
He looked so slow.
I don't know who it was, and I heard somebody say it, but it felt like very much a preseason game yesterday.
Yeah,
The way they
I
were
know
taking
you're
it.
talking about Buffalo Plus.
Was it Buffalo Plus that said it?
Yeah,
I can't remember. I watched so many of them.
Yeah. So
that,
Buffalo Plus said before the game, it felt like a preseason game.
Like
the
going
crowd,
in.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, like all about it. It was like a preseason game. Like we went up. Okay, we didn't score the touchdown. We'll go ahead and kick the field goal. We're up 17. Oh, this happened. Oh well. Oh well. We'll just then we start throwing bombs. Left
The
and right.
interception was weird because it was slow motion. Like it was like he intercepted it. I kind of felt like he wasn't even running top speed.
Yeah, he's just kind of jogging up the field and like no one's tackling him.
Yeah, Brown was like kind of jogging behind him. Like I'm like, I didn't even understand what happened. Like it was so weird for me, like that play. But either way, I'm just saying. So my point is, there's a lot that happens in a play that execution means everything, right? So drop passes can lead to. So instead of that, that drop pass that could have either led to 7 or 3, whatever, led to a touchdown the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
Quickly.
Like
I know that the only one that's worked out so far was Bates that we traded for. We did draft other guys because we drafted Cody Ford. And we signed a few because I think Bacher was signed as an undrafted free agent during this time too. That's why they love him so much. Wyatt Teller was drafted, and then we shipped off. So we have drafted other interior guys. Bates is the one that's worked out for us that we've gotten. He was an undrafted free agent that we traded for from Philly. Yes, we gave up. I think I can't remember who was a aging pass rusher for him, and it worked out perfect. But yes, no, we have drafted guys. Most of them are tackles.
With capital letters here.
Who?
It means he's making a point on you.
Ford was a tackle. Was he? Everybody who scouted him said he would be better guard than tackle. Only the Bills wanted him as a tackle.
It's true. They were, and then at the end they just wanted him wherever.
Greg Little was taking over him. The bust of Greg Little was taking over him in that draft. So,
by the way,
anyways,
Tampa's losing. Tampa's losing 18-0. By the way, if anyone cares to know about that score,
whoever wins that game is about to get pounded by San Francisco.
I think so too, but who knows? I mean, listen, how this
any given Sunday.
You never. Right? I mean, it's one. You never know, man. You never know.
Daniel, his senior year, he was a tackle at OU. He's a right tackle. His sophomore and junior year, he was a right guard. He didn't move to tackle until his senior year. He was actually a guard the 2 years prior to that.
Yep. So I do want to talk about some good now in this game.
Yes.
So let's go to the good, since we've been kind of just
which actually most of the game, if you go back and watch it fresh, and I did today, it wasn't as bad.
Right.
As a real time.
Because that game 1 took forever.
Yeah.
I mean, that game fucking took. I remember I set the podcast up like I normally do. And I even put it for later because I'm like, you know what? It'll take time for me to set up a computer. And I think I put it for like 4:30. Normally I do it for 4:15, 4:20, something like that. And we didn't get on till like 5 or something like that. Like that game
pushed back the other game. They pushed back the Giants game.
Yeah, that game dragged on, man. So I guess that's why it was just like
it took a long time.
Seemed,
but when we looked at it, like I went back and rewatched it with fresh eyes, and there was some plays that was like, oh, that was bad. Ouch, that's cringeworthy. But really, the Bills did a lot of really good things in that game. They just shot themselves in the foot and turned the ball over.
Chewy, I think because there was just a lot of
incompletions.
Well, that, and then there was also
there wasn't a lot of running.
They were looking at a lot of plays over, like replay. Like there was a lot of plays that they looked at. The Dawson Knox catch for the touchdown, the Gabe Davis catch that was a catch. There was another Gabe Davis that Sean McDermott finally won a challenge on. If you guys remember that, remember Stephon Diggs was so hyped on that one, and that was the one that was in the middle.
That catch. Yep, I remember that catch.
There was a ton. There was the ending with Devin Singletary. I mean, there's probably even more that I'm missing, but the game took a long time because there's a lot of that going on. And then also there was the little scuffle.
The fight, the Josh Allen fight.
So you guys got to remember there's a lot of things going on in that game that probably took a lot of timeouts and stuff like that, whatever. And then injuries. I remember like a couple of Dolphin players went down, like stuff like that. But they're good. So yeah, going back in this game, man, like when we went to post game yesterday, a lot of Allen negative talk. Even today on Twitter, I'm like, what is going on here? When I rewatched that game, he made some unbelievable passes that, like I said, very few quarterbacks can make. That touchdown to Gabriel Davis in the corner was an unbelievable throw. The Stephon Diggs throw early on was an unbelievable throw. Calling him in stride. There was a lot of good throws in this game. He escaped the pocket a few times and made some dart passes. And there were some drops. Like I said, the one to Shakir was a beautiful throw.
Yep.
Should have had it. So that he made a lot of good plays, and some of them it didn't happen because there were drop passes. So you have to, you can't say Allen was terrible. I don't know where that notion came from, because even if you want to say, right, but even if you want to go, okay, the John Brown pass, let's just say hypothetically, okay, he shouldn't have thrown that. Let's just say we were going to throw that out there. Shouldn't have thrown the pass. Let's just say it's not John Brown. Fine. I'll buy that. I'll accept that. But the Cole Beasley, I won't accept. That's not his fault. Cole Beasley should have had that. Right? Come on now. Or the defense. You got to tip the cap to the defense. It made a hell of a play. It's not really Allen's fault. He did his job. He got the ball there. And the fumble, I mean, is that Allen's fault? Maybe. Or maybe O-line. He should have held the ball. Me and Mike were talking about
it wasn't an O-line thing because it was a 6-on-5 blitz.
Right.
Josh is always a little careless with the ball. It's just his nature.
And he's trying to get away.
Shrug off.
But we also root that.
Love it when he does shrug him off and takes off and makes a play. He's like, oh, he's the best thing in the world. So it's the good with the bad.
Yeah, but overall though, for people to say terrible, crappy game, I can't accept that.
Tommy, you're in control of the chat.
Yeah, I know.
You should pop up spins.
Which one? This one?
Nope, the one right above it. Now he's gonna have a conversation with himself because whoever pops up the comments on the screen. Yes, I understand spin. He was drafted as a tackle by the Bills. I will go to my grave saying he was a better guard than tackle. And he should have been drafted as a guard, not a tackle. But you're right. Technically, he was drafted as a tackle. So the Bills have really they've only drafted one guard. Wyatt Teller.
But they said right away they had plans. They weren't going to keep him at tackle. When they drafted Cody Ford.
When they drafted him, they said they moved him to tackle. They said they're going to give him a shot at tackle first. And after the first year, they moved him to guard.
I heard different. I thought I could swear that they said they weren't sure where they wanted
him as a tackle. Dean wanted him as a tackle. And then he ended up splitting time with Ty Nsekhe because he just couldn't do it.
Wow.
But yes. But really, we've only drafted one interior offensive lineman in the 5 years they've been here.
I love Tony Romo, Chewy, by the way. He's probably
Romo did not have his best game yesterday. He really didn't.
Him still.
I do too. I love Romo. He was pushing for the narrative of could the Dolphins actually win this?
Yeah, but he can't be one-sided though. You know what I mean? Like he knows
he was very one-sided that way, trying to egg on the Dolphins.
I know, but that's that's his job. He's an announcer and he's also the color guy, right?
When it's 17-0, he thought it was going to be a blowout, and he probably was trying to find a way to keep people interested.
That's what I'm saying. Like he had like he's not going to be like, all right, guys, well, this is a terrible game. Like he's, he has to keep the fans who's watching.
Look that up.
But no, I tell you what, though, he did say, to his credit, from the start of the game, he's like, hey, I get the Bills are, favored by whatever we are, 13.5. He's like, I guarantee this game is closer than many people think.
He knows it's a division game. That's why.
Yeah,
just like that Raven Bengals game last night.
I know, and I mentioned that. You guys see now who watched that game? Y'all don't think y'all don't. Yeah, me too. Y'all don't think.
I think
that Bengals. We were talking the Ravens. By the way, real quick, I got to throw this out there, and I text Mikey. I don't know if y'all think we had you don't like our coordinator. You think our coordinator calls some iffy calls? How about the Ravens? How about the call one? How about the call for a 5'9"? What's that size of that quarterback?
5'9", 5'10".
Diving
2 yards out trying to get the ball like he's a 6'6" quarterback.
That's one play. And how about the play at the end of the game, Mikey, with 26 seconds? He runs the ball.
Well, not only that, but how about he didn't use any of his 2 timeouts when there was like a minute left and he completes over the middle of the field. Like we complain about
running the ball. What are you running the ball there for? Why would you purposely kill more time?
Harbaugh wasn't using his timeouts at all.
I know, but I don't get the run. I don't. And then it was holding on top of. So not only did you lose the time by running, it was a holding. So you had to go backwards, and you had to use your timeout. So it was like, bro, they got hit all over the place, right? Terrible play calling. But my point is, you don't think Ravens fans, Bengals fans are saying the same thing about their coordinator, their play call? Oh my God, we only scored 24 points. We only scored 7. Like, come on, listen. The Bengals are a better team than the Ravens. They have a better quarterback that game. They have way better receivers in that game. They have a good running back. And look how close that game. They almost lost that game.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me answer one of the questions they asked about Dylan Parham. Spended. Parham had a 66.9 PFF grade for run blocking, and he had a 48.8 pass blocking. So he's a better run blocker than pass blocker right now. But he's a rookie, and he had some good games and some bad games, like every rookie. Like his best run blocking game was against the Niners, but he had one of the worst pass blocking game against the Niners. So, it was up and down throughout the year for Parham, as any rookie normally is.
Yeah, he's a solid running back, though. Not bad.
No, that's the guard. This is the guy we wanted to draft.
I thought you were talking about the Bengals running back.
No, I'm talking about Dylan Parham.
Oh, guard. Dylan Parham. Okay.
Remember it's the guy.
I was getting it mixed up with Pyrene.
Yeah. No. Spen asked how Parham was doing.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Parham has been better than Bernard, the linebacker, because Bernard was only a special teamer. Parham started for the Raiders.
By the way, did you see though too how nobody's talking about it, but how good our defense played for the last 10 minutes and 50 seconds of that game? Because the game was 34-31 with 10 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, and the defense shut him out.
We did nothing.
Can we give a shout out to Kyer Elam, who stepped up and went man to man with Tyreek Hill?
Yes, he's on there. He's on my ticker here, actually, Mikey. Right after the win sloppy.
Like I went back and watched that. I looked at. I mean, he was physical with Tyreek, and Tyreek struggled with it.
Right there, Elam stepping up.
Yeah. Like, shout out. Yeah, really, the defense did play pretty lights out the whole game.
I told you guys. Yeah,
ultimately, they just were put in really bad spots early that they gave up points because they get 3 and out, but they were already in field goal range when they got the ball.
Correct. So the turnover by Allen took Beasley. The punt return 50 yards. The only drive I was like disappointed was when we went up 10 and they just let them march. They let him march down the field. I was like,
even when they marched down the field, we had them in 3rd and 19 and 3rd and 12 twice, or 4th and 8 twice. Yeah, we had 3rd and 19 and 4th and 8, and we let them miss tackles, allowed them to keep those drives going.
It'll happen. I know. Milano missed one in that game. I was like,
Spin calls it right here. Calls it out. They scored 10 points when they didn't start in field goal range.
Yeah, I know. So I'm trying to tell you, they had the one drive and the field goal. That was it. Like,
yeah.
the defense did their job, and they were supposed to. Let's
Yeah.
be real. That was almost a last pick in the
quarterback.
draft.
The quarterback
right?
was, but they still had Tyreek. They still had
No, they have weapons, of course.
Gesicki.
Listen,
by the way,
yeah,
that last one yesterday, I want to correct myself. Yesterday I said it was to Cedric Wilson at the end. It was actually to the Gesicki that Elam was on that last pass. They threw it to Gesicki.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it was Gesicki.
Yeah, I said yesterday it was Wilson.
Okay.
Rewatching it, I realized it was Gesicki. And I will tip my cap to Khair for being able to play that physical with that tight end and win.
Yeah, dude, he played like, bro, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to play physical. You got to be on the ball. You got to be sticky. If you get beat on a play, you got to play physical and get your hands in there.
That's what you're going to have to do next week with the Bengals. You're going to have to do it with KC. Get physical with those receivers and tight ends, and like you saw last night with the Ravens. The Ravens got in there and got physical with them.
You got to play,
and they did a good job of shutting that passing game down for the most part.
You got to be a little nasty. You have to be a little nasty on defense.
You can't play that soft ass zone.
Yeah, and listen, I hope Dane Jackson's whatever's going on with him.
He's okay.
I don't wish anybody injury, but can we?
I want Benford and Elam out there.
Yeah,
manning up these receivers, getting nasty with them.
You have like come on, man.
They're both bigger than Dane.
Frazier and McDermott have to eventually see it, right? Like see what we're seeing.
Didn't we say that for years with Levi?
Yeah, but we didn't have a Khair Elam and a Benford in the wings. We had Dane Jackson in the wings. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? We can argue.
We had Cam Lewis and Dane Jackson were our.
Is that a really was that like a major step up from Levi?
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
I'll give you that.
So we can argue this now. Yeah, we
I'll give you that.
Right. And not only that, we've seen these guys. Mm-hmm. We know what they're capable of. It's not like we're like these, fans that want this practice squad guy to come up and feel, what I mean? He's barely played. Like we've seen these guys play in the regular season. Right?
Spen does a good job of outlining it. Spen does a good job of outlining it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I want you to get through your point. But Spen does a really good cutting off what the issues were yesterday. They're scoring. Kickoff out of bounds, 3 points. Punt return, 3 points. Interception, 3 points. Interception, 8 points. Fumble, 7 points. That's 24 points that we gave them off of our mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spen, that's a fantastic summary right there, buddy.
Well, that's why I try to preach you guys. But that's what I'm trying to say from the start of the show is a lot of you guys, and I'm not saying you in the chat, but I'm just saying
a lot of mafia. Don't say you guys.
Yeah, a lot of
mafia.
Right. Are quick to point the finger at particular people.
Dorsey, even though he scored 35 points or 34 points.
34. Right. And it's like, dude, got to zoom out a little bit. You have to look really what's going on, what happened. It's not always like one guy. It takes a lot for that to happen. And not only that, so let's just say hypothetically, I'm just want to throw this out here. So let's just say hypothetically we score 34 points, but there's none of that turnover. Let's just say, and the game's still 30. What then? You get what I'm saying? Like 34 points. If I were to tell you the Bills scored 34 points, forget anything else. Would you think we won the game?
With our defense, yes. If we score 34, we should win.
34, but I'm saying in general, like for an NFL team, should 34 be enough to win a game?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, like 34. Now mind you, now here comes the turnovers and stuff like that. That's where the game gets ugly, and that's what happened. But if we eliminate that stuff, and that's not on Dorsey, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm not saying that he's not partially responsible because maybe he's calling the wrong play, put Allen in a bad position, whatever. But I'm just saying if we clean up some of the things, we will be just fine. Like it's all about execution and cleaning up, and Allen taking a little bit more control of the ball, like a little bit, not being so sloppy, careless with the football, hanging it out like he's Shady McCoy. He got away with that, right? You can't do that, right? If you're gonna get sacked, hold the ball in. You know what I mean? Receivers, catch the ball, because we're not even counting. Like I said, guys, we left points off the board. So we're talking 34. Mikey, how much do you think we could have had in reality in that game if Shakir catches the ball? If Knox catches
the first one on we turned it over on downs. We were in field goal range.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
We gave up points.
Right.
Then
so
we
three.
had,
let's just say hypothetically 3. Let's count that as 3. Let's say we don't do anything. We get
so then we're at 37. Then we had the bomb, the Shakir one that went through his hands.
So let's say
that would have been that would say that's 3 more. So now we're at 40. You know, we had the one that was basically a long punt. Okay, we're not going to give him points for that long punt one.
The Knox touchdown.
The Knox touchdown. We lost 4 points there.
44.
So now we're at 44. You know,
guys,
we had the Steph Diggs one at the end of the half.
Oh, that's right.
That they didn't even review.
Right.
That could have been a touchdown.
And bad, by the way, bad timeout. But McDermott, don't do that in the future.
Yep. You know, but
we had a chance.
Like we could have had a 40+ burger on them easily.
Correct.
Yesterday.
Yes. That's my point. So like it's these little tiny dumb mistakes, guys, that need to be cleaned up. Other than that, this offense is good.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't as bad when I went back and watched today, as bad as I felt yesterday going after being through the game. I went back and rewatched it. It wasn't as bad as I remembered.
Exactly. You should always
yes,
rewatch.
Chewy. We have 3 kinds of Bills fans this season. 1, media hyped, waited so long for a Super Bowl. 2, hey, we got the W kind of fan. And 3, always negative no matter what kind of fan. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I think I fall into the category 2.
Yeah.
Type of fan. We got the win. Would I like to see better things? Yes. But as long as we get the win, I don't care. It's not college football. We're not ranked on, you know, how our victories are. It's ranked off of, you know, do I care if Colin Cowherd puts me in as Blazing 5 or Nick, where Nick puts me on the tiers, or where Bleacher Report puts us? None of that matters. Only thing that matters is us getting that trophy at the end of then we can tell them all to suck it.
Right. Moving on to the next round, which we accomplished. You don't think listen, the Bengals barely escaped, but they don't give a shit. They're moving on.
They took the game ball and gave it to somebody at some bar.
Right. The Ravens are at home. The Dolphins are at home. Yeah. Right. The Vikings are at home. And I am very happy to say that.
Yes, you are.
By the way, that the Vikings, and I'll repeat myself, the Vikings are at home.
The Chargers are at home.
Chargers are at home.
All of them would take what we did yesterday if they came out with a W, and they'd be okay with it.
Exactly. So,
by the way, shout out to the Giants and Brian Dable and Isaiah Hodgins, who was balling for the G-men.
Yeah, you got to give them credit. I mean,
Shane and Dable, good job.
Yeah, they found a place for him and his system. Yep. And they've actually made Daniel Jones better than I thought he would be. I'll be honest with you. I was not.
Daniel Jones reminds me of year 2 Josh Allen. He's more of a runner than a passer.
Yeah, he's actually
he's finding a way, and he's getting better throwing the ball.
Yeah, listen, I'll give,
but he's also scheming things up. I'll tell you one thing: Mike Kafka's offense schemes things because Kafka came from the Andy Reid tree. He's scheming things.
Exactly, Chewy.
Oh yeah, Chewy. Imagine being a Chargers fan right now.
So,
I'd be screaming to have my head coach fired and give me Sean Payton right now.
Exactly. So
imagine him being a Chargers fan and thinking we could have had Daboll. They passed on him. They didn't want to wait for him.
Listen, if we win a Super Bowl, which I truly believe we can, come on, man. I don't know who the hell.
It's gonna be a long, fun off season if we win the ship. It's gonna be a long, fun off season.
I want to see. Then it's very curious who says what. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You know what I mean? And by the way, too, a lot of these people there's a lot of new Bills fans that haven't rode this journey that a lot of us old school fans have, and maybe they're just so. Who knows? I don't know. If they don't understand, like, that it took us this long to even get where we're at, right? Where we're like, damn, we're a playoff team. Like, so I'm just saying, like, go back in time, guys. Like, if you're new to this fan base, you're new to this watching Buffalo Bills football.
Patriot fans, Tommy. There's a lot of Patriots fans that had never even experienced the losing season until the last couple years.
Yeah, freaking
they're
out.
losing their shit.
Freaking out. But listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not always happy with what McDermott does. There's things that annoy me, right? I think he's terrible at challenges. I think sometimes his clock management's awful. It's not the worst in the league, but I think it's sometimes pretty bad. I think sometimes he gets a little overwhelmed. But I think he's a hell of a coach still. I really do. I believe in him. I think Leslie Frazier, for as much heat as he gets,
calming influence, man. He's so calm.
Listen, man, he's a good damn coach.
He's a great leader of men. Leslie Frazier, although his defense frustrates me at times, even though yesterday he sent more blitzes than normal. But that's that when it's 3rd and 20, they play that soft zone, and it could be execution over call. I believe that there are times that it's execution over call.
Missed
tackles.
Hate it.
I still
when we have them. Yeah, I hate it too.
But hate it.
but my point is, we have a good coaching staff in place. I'm talking now. There's not one guy on this coaching staff where I'm like, like last year was like Bobby Johnson. I wasn't a fan of, right?
Yeah,
I thought it was time to move on from Dable. I did. I respect what he's done, but it was time. But I like the guys we have in place. I think they're all good leaders, man. I think they're good at everybody's good at what they do, and they all link up. Like I told you guys before, there's no disconnect, right? Like the players all respect the coaches, and like there's nobody yelling at the coach on the sideline getting their.
You're not hearing like the Ravens talk crap about the coaches. Like, did you hear all that?
Right.
Like Jake Dobbins and all them, they're all talking about the coaches. Everyone's talking about what kind of leaders they have in the locker room. I want to go to Spen's comment. Go up 2 of Spen's between. It says the only one that can beat the Bills is the Bills. To this point, that's what we have seen.
That is true.
I have not seen anybody. If the Bills, only way the Bills have lost is when they shot themselves in the foot at this point.
Those are facts. I can't argue that.
We are 14-3 on the year. We have 3 losses, 8 points. And all 3 losses, we beat ourselves. We had the game won, and we just didn't execute.
100%. Either that be coaching.
And that wasn't on coaching.
The one was. I think the Dolphin game, I would say the
first
Dolphin game
was, Josh spiked a 4th down that Isaiah was wide open.
No, I get it, but I would say a little coaching there because of I would say the at the end for the first half to get the field goal. We didn't get the field goal because of the clock management.
Okay,
we could have had 3 on the board.
I'll give you that, but I'm talking about the 4th quarter. Josh Allen had Isaiah McKenzie wide open in the end zone for the lead, and he threw it in the
I get it.
And then Isaiah tried to run outside, and then he stopped and went. If he just goes down, we can get the spike and get the ball off.
Yeah, so he went backward. It was
execution at the end of the game. You're right. The Miami game. I didn't watch the Jets game, so I can't tell you exactly what happened there.
Just sloppy play. I think the Jets play. They're a good defense, and I think I would say that game was just. I think you got to tip your cap there. I think we did a couple dumb plays, but I think the Jets ultimately they beat us. I think that's the one game I could say it was just a good fault game. We made some mistakes, but so did they.
Josh threw really bad picks.
Yeah, he did. The red zone pick in the beginning was bad, where he didn't see the guy. He said it. So he didn't play his best. But that's my point, though. Their defense schemed them up good. We can't always just say Josh sucked, and that's the reason why. Like, you got to sometimes give it up to the defense.
Yep.
And if that's one game, I'm going to say because the Jets, it's not like the Jets defense was like okay all season and they just had a great game against us. Like, they were a good, solid defense.
They were one of the top defenses all year long.
Yeah. So I think that's the one game where I might just say we lost that one. I'm not going to give we shot our, I think that
we did shoot ourselves in the foot though.
We did, but the defense also played good. They made some good plays on us.
And then the Minnesota game, obviously.
Minnesota game, 1,000%.
We fumbled in the end zone.
That's also on coaching, though. as well. I'm going to give that a mix. And I'm going to put my man Dorsey under the bus here because you got to call some running plays there, right? You mix some running, and at the end of the game, they got no time. There is no more time for them, right, to make that comeback. But instead, he's throwing it and 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 throwing it. And Vikings are just making these turnovers.
Like, run the damn ball. Run the ball, and they don't have the time to, they don't have enough time to come back.
Right. So I think that game was coaching and players, right?
And that's kind of like with the Miami game this last week. If we would have run the ball more after we had the 17-0 lead, like we just kept throwing it, and we kept throwing it deep. Didn't understand why.
Yeah, Cam Lewis.
Yeah, Cam Lewis.
There was a lot that happened that game, right?
So the Miami and the Minnesota game will split it, coaching and execution. The Jets loss was just is one of those games.
One of those games. It was one of those games. It was a tough fault game. I think we made red zone mistakes. They capitalized. They won. Yeah, and they also ran the ball on us and killed the clock at the end. We could have stopped them. If you saw that game,
missed tackles.
Yeah, missed tackles. Exactly. Right.
Execution.
So,
red zone, miscues, and missed tackles at the end cost us.
But we also corrected those, guys. I want to say this.
Did we correct the missed tackles?
We corrected. No, I'm going to say it. We corrected them the second time we played these teams.
Yeah.
Except for Minnesota, because we didn't play. Obviously, don't play Minnesota twice. But we played the Dolphins. Matter of fact, 2 more times,
and we beat them.
Right, beat them 2 in a row. We played the Jets right after. We beat them with a better quarterback, by the way, Mike White. Right, just throwing that out there. And we handled our business against the Patriots, right? Yeah. Who were a good defense. So I think, listen, the missed tackle like that, you're right. Like we had some yesterday's game. Can't do that. But come on. Here's my point. There's going to be mistakes once in a while. We got all-pro Matt Milano missing a tackle. You got to say, hey, it sucks, but it's going to happen.
He went for the big hit and missed.
Right, but it's going to how much is it going to happen? You get what I mean? How often does he whiff on a tackle? But it will happen. It will happen here and there. So
okay, so quickly, Chewy comes in and asks, is on the 53, but has been inactive the last 2 games. I don't know if we'll see him in the playoffs because he was gone for so long, and I'm not sure. I guess it really will probably depend on the status of Dane Jackson. And then Hyde has what? Go ahead.
It won't let me. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. StreamYard went out.
Yeah, that's fine. And then Hyde has already been ruled out of the Cincy game.
Yeah, Hyde. Yeah, they said
the game was always the target.
So they didn't rule out.
Pay the bill, Tommy.
No, it's not. Hey, I'm on a different network.
No sound,
buddy. I'm on a different network. So it's not me.
Oh, he's like, never mind. I had you muted.
No. What was that saying? They didn't rule out
Hyde.
No, not Hyde. They ruled out Hyde. No, the
Dane
receiver,
Jackson?
Crowder. So Crowder's still up in the air for this weekend, guys. So I would keep your eye on that because I am curious about that. What they do with that, because if Crowder is available, Mikey, then we got a real question here. Because we were already talking about this post game. We do. I do. So here's the question. Okay. So we talked about this on Sunday before the Crowder news came up that he is not inactive as of yet. So McKenzie, no word yet, right? We don't know. Yep. Now, if he's inactive, then we don't have any kind of whatever. But we know Diggs. We know playoff Gabe Davis is back, baby.
Yep.
Cole Beasley.
Yep. He's on the 53.
That's right. And you got Shakir, right? So what do we got? What are we up to there? 4?
That would be 5.
5. Okay, so Diggs, Davis, Cole,
Davis, Cole, Shakir. Oh, so that is 4.
It's 4,
Because
right?
McKenzie is questionable.
Right.
So then
Well,
comes our 5th one. Would it be John Brown or would it be Crowder?
But let's say McKenzie's available because we don't know that yet. So now you got John Brown, McKenzie, and Crowder. Right?
Well, John Brown is on the practice squad, so chances are he wouldn't be called up.
Right. So you're saying no, John Brown not being called up, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So who you playing? McKenzie or Crowder?
Me personally, I'm playing Crowder.
You're playing Crowder over McKenzie?
Absolutely. Because Crowder can play inside and outside.
I get it, but I'm torn on that. A little torn. I gotta know. Man.
Crowder's a veteran.
I get it. And I'm not, it's not even about that. It's more about the injury coming back. It's been a long time, right? I mean, it's been months.
But if they're playing him, that means they saw something in practice that they
felt right. I agree with that too. But then you're also taking out that speed element that McKenzie brings. But you also have that in Hines, who can substitute for that McKenzie kind of role as well.
So
right?
Let me ask you a question. Did you miss the speed element yesterday?
I'll tell you what, man. At times I was, because I'm
we
so
dropped
used to
34. I don't.
No. I get it. Listen. It's not even about that. I'm just talking about in general, right? Because I'm so used to McKenzie being out there. I was like, why aren't in my head? I'm like, where is he on his motion?
But we haven't.
I know we haven't done it as much. We've done it a few times. But I will say this too, though. McKenzie's had some decent games this year.
Yes, he has.
He's been there for Josh on a few occasions where Josh really needed.
He's also made some really critical,
really bad drops. It's just I'm torn on it because I like McKenzie. I do. I still think he brings something to this offense. But if Crowder's ready, and we said this in the beginning when it was up to him and Shakir at that time, I have to agree with you. I would go Crowder over McKenzie on this one.
That's 5 straight missed extra points for the Dallas kicker.
What? He just missed another?
Yes. It's 5 straight. He was 3 tonight. But he missed the 2 at the end.
Is he new?
No. It's that Mayer guy, the veteran.
Wow.
They keep putting him on the same hash, and he keeps pushing it.
Well, it's 24-0 now. So, they're looking at a play. Oh, the guy's out of bounds, so it's not even a touchdown.
Yes, it was.
The guy stepped out of bounds before he got the ball. Right? So wouldn't the hat come off from that one or whatever? You can't step out.
Yeah, I think they reviewed it and they overturned it.
Oh, did they already? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
24-0.
Oh, wow. Okay, because so the 24 is still the point. Okay, so I'm behind you, by the way. So that's probably why. Okay, damn, but they're still in the red zone here.
He's missed 3 extra points tonight, and he's missed 5 straight now because he missed those last 2 in the regular season.
Damn, bro, that's wild. Well, he's not our kicker.
Spin, you're right though, but that's his hat trick for tonight. It's 5 straight.
That's wild.
Oh, it's 4 tonight, and he missed his last one last week.
That's wild.
Yikes,
bro.
Right? Woo! Ouch. That's when you start going for 2.
Yeah, you have to at that point. If you miss that many, there's a problem. But it's 24.
Man, I didn't know if it was 4 TDs or if they kicked a couple field goals. I haven't paid attention much to the game.
My God, that's bad.
Yeah.
So Mikey, anything else good that you want to talk about?
I want to give a shout out to our chat. They come in hot every week, good, bad, or indifferent. They come in. Whether you are venting, we're here as therapy for everybody. Want to give a shout out to my boy Greg from Australia, the Down Under.
Hey.
My shark riding boy, Greg. He
Nice.
has recently subscribed to us and has started watching our show. Sometimes he makes it into the chat. Sometimes he doesn't. I don't know if he's going to make it in tonight, but I told him I'd give him a shout out. So The rest of you guys, we appreciate it. 3 keys. It's a little early for the 3 keys, Chewy.
Yeah, we have our Friday show for that, but
I'll give you quick. Pass rush. They're down three starting offensive linemen. They just lost their left tackle who has a dislocated knee.
Yes, that is a big. They have two, right? 2 starting offensive linemen there.
3
is
down.
it 3 now?
They have 3. Their left tackle, the right tackle, and the right guard, all down.
I'm bringing pressure, boy.
I am. Me too. I'm bringing all kinds of pressure. So it's going to be, get to pressure. They're missing those. Get to the quarterback. You put pressure on Joe Burrow. He doesn't have time to wait for Chase and Higgins. Then it limits him to that short game. We come up and we make the tackles. That plays into how we like to play defense.
Right.
Red zone efficiency. Continue scoring touchdowns over field goals. We have done such a good job recently. Oh my God, the Cowboys just picked up another fumble.
I told you, Tampa's
done. Tampa's done. And then my third key is play clean, no turnovers. End every drive in a kick, punt, field goal, extra point.
Yeah,
those are my 3 keys as of today. Chewy, your 3 keys: blitz, blitz, blitz.
Yeah, I would say on mine, limit the turnovers. Let's try to keep it at 0. And put the pressure on Burrow. And play physical. I mean, play physical with the line, because I think if we're bringing the pressure, and
because we're playing the big dogs of the AFC now.
Yeah, and
according to the Bengals,
not only that, they know that they're shorthanded on their offensive line. They know more than likely that we're going to bring the heat. That means they're going to have a game plan for Burrow to get rid of the ball quick. I want us to press those receivers at the line. I do not want that soft ass spacey where we give cushion to these receivers where Burrow's throwing a 5-yard out, 6-yard pass, and it turns into 15 because we've given them 5 yards of open field. Like, you can't do that. And we've done it now 2 straight weeks. I can't stand it. Like, you have to eventually press up. Like,
we don't press.
The one,
we don't though. That's
and I hate it because so, like, for instance, the Patriot game, same thing, right? Like, I love the pressure, and same thing with the Dolphins, and we were doing a good job. But when they adjust and they go, okay, we're going to start getting rid of the ball quicker, that's when the Bills defense needs to start pressing, because the quarterback's going to get rid of it quick. That's the time to press. That's the time to play physical.
Well, if you watched the game yesterday, Joe Burrow threw 17 hitches in the first half.
Oh, dude. Yes.
They'll do the same thing all the way down the field. Joe Burrow has no problems throwing 5-yard hitches all day long.
But what were the Ravens doing to counter that?
They pressed after the first half. In the second half, they played press. The Bills don't do that though. That's just they don't. What they'll do is they'll let you throw the hitches until they get down in field goal range, and then they think that their defense will tighten up and you'll kick field goals.
I know.
So
we'll see.
Just be prepared for that.
But anyways, guys, tomorrow, Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast for you wrestling nerds. It's 8:30. Wednesday is Rally Towel. And you guys might want to watch that because they are Bengals fans, and they will be on Mafia Sports Report talking about the Bengals-Bills game. So you might want to hear what Bengals guys got to say about it. Could be interesting. Great guys. I definitely would tell you guys to go on there and chat with them because it'll probably be interesting. Right? It usually is. And then Friday is obviously Friday Night Lights with me and Mikey, and we're going to, be going over the game in more detail. And then that's it, man. Saturday, I don't know. Do we have any shows?
Divisional round, fellas. Divisional round.
That's it, guys. So, hey, once again, we appreciate you guys hopping on tonight.
3 to go,
Bills
Tommy.
Mafia. We love you.
3 to go.
3 to go, baby. And
3
it's
to
the
go.
Super Bowl. And that's it. And then me and Mikey are just loving life, man.
And we're going to have a fun off season. We win this whole thing. It's going to be a fun off season, fellas.
It is, man. But anyways, we love you guys. Bills Mafia #1. And
Go
I will
Bills.
play the outro because I sometimes forget. And peace out.
And look at it go. He could go all the way. Touchdown.
Oh, wait. Go Bills. Peace.
And look at it go. He could go all the way. Touchdown. Touchdown. Touchdown.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, yeah, yeah.